What's up everybody? Today we're gonna talk about preparing for the next bull run, and in specific for the altcoin bull run, because yeah, there is no altcoin season. As you can see, it's far away from now, but eventually there will be one. And if you are prepared, you can make so much money. So let's talk about that. If you like that content, like the content already, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and let's get right into it. Now, preparing for the bull run is not by buying the complete way down. Some people, let's take a look at some altcoins. Some people, for example, I don't know, Algorand. Right? Some people, they feel like, yeah, you know, it's a good project, and as long as I dollar cost every fucking dip, I will be fine at some point. Maybe you will make a little profit if the project survives, but you can also be a little strategic about it. And today I would basically like to show you what I do, right? Not what you should do, but just what I do. My strategy, okay, and how I find altcoins that look like they are bottoming against Bitcoin, because that's the most important reason. Because if they don't, then you can better buy Bitcoin. If they do bad against Bitcoin, then you can better say, okay, let's go into Bitcoin. I mean, it's doing better and it's less risk, right? But there are altcoins, of course, that will outperform Bitcoin in the altcoin bull market. How to find those? It's so freaking hard. Well, it is freaking hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy, but there are, you know, there is something that you can at least do. And I also want to show one comment that I got. I just saw it right before I was going to shoot the video, and it fits in perfectly. Someone said, let's cut the crap and call a spade a spade. You are definitely a Bitcoin maxi. But I thought he was joking. So I said, yes, and an 80-year-old lady from Mexico. But he was serious. He said, it's okay to be a Bitcoin maxi, just don't deny it. 95% of your videos prove it. That's the common mistake people make. They don't adjust to the market, right? They see altcoins go down, and they be like, well, I'm gonna buy it anyway, and it doesn't matter if I lose money because I'm at least not a Bitcoin maxi. Sir, if this is a serious comment, you are just pretty fucking stupid. Sorry to put it like that. I don't want to be like, but this is not so smart, right? I want to show you why. Because, for example, this is a random altcoin, okay? This is Algorand, but we can take a lot of altcoins out there that people like. We can take AVAX, which is going down. We can take, I don't know, it doesn't matter, right? But then we have Bitcoin for now, right? This is how Bitcoin looks like. Which one is the one that's going up and which one is the one that's going down? That's what you have to ask yourself. Well, if I say that if you want to call it a Bitcoin maxi, okay, all right, then you have to look at it like this. In this type of market, I'm a basically nothing maxi. In this type of market, you can call me a Bitcoin maxi, right? In this type of market, I'm a, be very careful maxi. And once the bull run begins and altcoins go with it, I'm an altcoin maxi. What it basically means is I'm an adjust to the market maxi, so I make the most out of it and don't lose as much, okay? Yeah, if you got to know me in the bear market, which you probably did since this channel has, I made this channel in the bear market, right? So, of course you haven't seen me being bullish on altcoins yet. If I were bullish on altcoins, you should be really doubting if you should watch my channel, to be honest. Because, of course, I can try to pick the right altcoins that will outperform, but I'm not going to gamble, right? If you see the altcoin market going down and you hear me talk a lot about how bullish altcoins are and you should buy the dip and all of that, yeah, then I can go with another job application at Crypto Bento. I don't know what I should do, but that's not the best way to go with. Like, if the market is going down, you should be bearish. If the market is going up, you should be bullish. That's what it is, right? And yeah, it's basically very simple. So I want to get that out of the way. Like, don't marry your bag, because you're gonna get emotional, you're gonna get FOMO, and you're gonna make the wrong decisions, right? Like, Bitcoin is going up, yeah, then I'm rather in Bitcoin than in altcoins. And this chart right here shows, like, this is from the moment where I said you should be in Bitcoin, right? These are altcoins on their Bitcoin pair. I don't know, but they went down in a total of 50% and they're still 40% down, right? So yeah, at the end of the day, if you want to call me whatever, I did not lose 50-40%. That's what it is, and you probably did. So adjust to the market, and that's the first thing, okay? How do you prepare? Let me rewind. How do I prepare for the bull run and for an alt season? Very quickly, very general, before I get into the specific altcoins and how to find those altcoins. I see this chart, for example, also based on the past, right? So again, this is the total three, the whole market except Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So we take Bitcoin away and we take the biggest altcoin, Ethereum, away as well. They have only the altcoin market, which was sitting very low right here in October, whatever, 2017. We mooned. So altcoins outperform Bitcoin. This was an alt season, right? This is basically an alt season indicator. If this goes up, you have an alt season. If it goes down, you have a Bitcoin season, right? So here, altcoins got fucked against Bitcoin. We went up again, and now we are on the way down. But if you look a little closer, what's interesting, if you ask me as well, is that once we got here in this region between, the golden zone on the Fibonacci tool, and it's not for no reason that it's called the golden zone. Look how it struggles right here, right? We went there. We struggled for a few months, and then we had our final flush. Now what we did, we again had our beautiful distribution phase. We go down. We struggle right here. This could take a while before we have our final flush. It might not happen. Of course, it might not happen. So I'm not ruling anything out. But, if you always go with the thesis like, oh yeah, but this time is different, then you should fuck off with your trading view and all of that, because then charting has no use as well, right? And so far charting is kind of a trader's use, and investors, it's really helpful for them as well. All right, it's a matter of risk reward and looking how big your odds are actually. So my thesis is still that eventually this will go down. This means that altcoins are freaking cheap on their Bitcoin pair. They might be more expensive on the dollar pair. It's good, right? So maybe altcoins have their dollar bottom here, but their Bitcoin bottom here. Therefore, it's good to, some people, they feel like, okay, should I have more altcoins or more dollar? But if you really want to play it smart, you can also add Bitcoin to that, because Bitcoin is not something you should only hold because it might do a 10x in the next bull run or whatsoever, but also because it functions as gunpowder, which gives you the opportunity to also not miss out on the market. If you think that altcoins are going down and therefore you are 100% in stables and the market does go up, you completely miss out. But if you think that altcoins are going lower, but you also have a good bag of Bitcoin, which you can buy these altcoins with, right? And it goes up, then it doesn't matter, because then your Bitcoin is also going up, so you don't miss out. And if it does go down, you can buy these altcoins with your Bitcoin. So you are exposed to both scenarios, and in both cases, it will work out fine. Unless you believe that Bitcoin eventually will go to zero for some reason, but I don't think that there are a lot of people that think that. So that's why I do. Again, I showed you this before. Maybe you haven't seen it. Maybe you have. I don't know. But look at this. When was the best time for the last run to buy altcoins with Bitcoin? That was here, right? The last week of 2020, right? Or the first week of 2021, or whatever you want to call it. Then let's overlay Bitcoin to this. And this is so fucking funny. Look at this. So if you look at Bitcoin, that was here. Right here. Shit. Sorry, everything else comes back. Anyway, this line, this right here. So let me remove this. So this line right here. This was the best time This was the cheapest point for altcoins ever to buy them with your Bitcoin. While Bitcoin was already sitting at around 35K. Remember, it came from 3 and it went to 69, right? So it was halfway the Bitcoin bull run. Therefore, if you stack up on some cheap Bitcoin in the bear market, right? If you just dollar cost your Bitcoin, whatever, here and here and here, you have cheap Bitcoin. Your average will be, I don't know, 6K or so. Just 6K, let's say, right? You didn't buy the bottom, but you didn't buy the top. You rode your Bitcoin all the way to 30, 36, 40, I don't know, let's say 36. So you made a 6x on your Bitcoin, and then you could have deployed that Bitcoin into altcoins still at the lowest point. Of course, you won't time that bottom, and you don't need to try to. But even if you bought it here or dollar costed this whole area, doesn't matter. You had already a 6x made with your Bitcoin, and that 6x you used to go from the lowest point to the highest point of that altcoin rally on the Bitcoin pair, right? That's insane. And here you would have sold it, for example. It's in hindsight, right? It's super easy. Here you did this and you were rich. Now, ta-da, good luck. But the opportunity is how I'm going to play it as well. You can first ride a very good Bitcoin run, right? Then stack up on your altcoins, then ride that wave. And then you can sell it again for Bitcoin or for dollars, whatever makes you happy. So, again, about being a Bitcoin maxi or whatever, I don't know. It's just a way to make the most money and to lose least money. That's kind of what it is, right? And if you're being called whatever for that, yeah, okay, fine, right? But at the end of the day, it's better to... by the way, I have if you know how much percent of my portfolio exists of Bitcoin, right? But it doesn't matter. But it's better to now first gamble which altcoins are going to survive. Like, hey, cake, maybe it survives. Let's buy all the dips. And if it even survives, which is always the question, yeah, then you have to ride half of a bull market to make some profits first. Moonbeam, like there are a lot of examples, right? So I don't know. I think it's more and more dangerous to be an altcoin maxi at this specific time of the market, right? And again, it depends on the market. If you are always in the same thesis, like fuck Bitcoin, fuck whatever, altcoins are it, you can make a lot of money, but you will lose everything as well, right? The market does this, adjust. The market does this, adjust, right? It's not like, oh, I just do this and I'll wait and I'll get rich. It's like, so that doesn't work. It's just not how the market plays out, right? So let's talk about some altcoins and how to look if they may have bottomed, right? So first off, again, buying Bitcoin is definitely not a bad idea, right? I'm not saying right now, I think it can go like maybe lower 20s or 18K or something like that. Right, but just I am dollar costing this period now, like last half of the year, Q1, give or take, dollar costing Bitcoin, because again, Bitcoin dominance is on a big uptrend, and some charts that I just showed you, and the whole strategy basically, right? So then, if you have Bitcoin, one, you have something to buy altcoins with. And two, if you miss out, you ride a Bitcoin bull run. Well, nobody got part of that, right? So it's okay. And you want to look like, okay, altcoins. How do they look? Let me show you a part of my 2023 DCA watch list, right? There's not everything, I have to adjust it, but how do I look at this? Well, let's start. Gala, for example. A lot of people were bullish on Gala. A lot of people lost a lot of money with Gala. It's great. Overall, Gala looks like this, right? When was the best time to buy Gala? Well, if you bought this exact bottom right there, the exact bottom though, you would have made 20%. Well, congratulations. That didn't happen. We all know that, right? Gala is not looking so good. A lot of people, they might feel like, Gala, triple bottom, right? Well, slightly lower, but give or take triple bottom. I'd be like, well, is it? Look at its Bitcoin pair, right? And this is where it gets interesting. Because again, Gala just made a lower low last week. So when was the best time to buy Gala? Well, last week, right? And if you bought the exact low to where we are right now, you have 8% profit. Didn't happen. We all know that you didn't do that, right? Plus, who says that this is how it's been doing for the last 91 weeks. So who says there won't be a lower low next week or in 2 or 3 weeks, right? Even after this Gala pump right here, great, still got taken out, right? It's just going down. So I look at such a chart, I'll be like, okay, but if Gala is losing from Bitcoin, right? So Gala is worth less against Bitcoin, aka Bitcoin is worth more against Gala. Then you are better off with Bitcoin, right? And then you have to, so that's the reward part. And then you have to look at the risk part. Well, but isn't Gala lower risk? Of course not, it's an altcoin. So if Bitcoin is lower risk and higher reward, why on earth would you buy this right now? Right? Why would you buy this right now? Let me take a look. If we flip the chart the other way, okay, then maybe give some perspective. This is Bitcoin on its Gala pair, right? So how much has Bitcoin gone up against Gala? 10x. 10x, right? Since March 2022, it doesn't go back even further, but it's way more, right? So if you would have sold your Gala for Bitcoin, you would have made it 10x. So why the fuck would you buy it instead? Right? It's in price discovery mode. It's going up. It's making new highs. Nobody knows how far this can go, right? You can, of course, say like, oh, let's sell here, aka let's buy Gala, right? Who says that it doesn't do this? As long as the uptrend or the downtrend hasn't been confirmed yet, then why would you bet on that, right? So what I do is I look, and that's the reason, for example, why I bought some Cardano. Cardano is slightly higher risk at this point still, but I just look like how is a coin doing against Bitcoin? Because if a coin is outperforming Bitcoin, even especially when Bitcoin is going down, and we now see, right, Bitcoin went down from 32k to like 25, give or take, it was, right? How are altcoins holding up? Well, Bitcoin might go down, but Cardano on its Bitcoin pair is not going down from there, right? It's now steady. Okay, so that's good, right? Since Bitcoin's downtrend, that's good, right? You want to see that play out for a couple of months though, right? Because here as well, Cardano here in May 2022, bottom, and even in December, so half a year later, we found the same support and we still broke down, right? So you want to see like multiple months, but this is not when Bitcoin was really going. You really want to see Bitcoin crashing and see like, okay, is this altcoin holding up against Bitcoin? Right, that's important. If we overlay Bitcoin on this one, right, what you see is very interesting. You see right here, Bitcoin was sitting at 11K and it went all the way down to 5K. So Bitcoin had a almost 60% correction, while Cardano on its Bitcoin pair didn't give shit. It didn't give shit, right? It went up, but it held these lows. That's the moment you should think like, wow, okay, if Bitcoin can crash that hard, but an altcoin on its Bitcoin pair doesn't care, then how is that altcoin going to do when Bitcoin is really going up, right? Because here, in the small Bitcoin relief before the second crash, Cardano went from 404 Satoshis to 706, almost doubled. right? And when the Bitcoin run really started, you see Cardano doing very well against Bitcoin as well. And that's where the money comes in. So I look at some of these charts and I'll be like, okay, AVAX, for example. Let's take a look at AVAX. Well, no, not really, right? Because AVAX, it just put in a lower low, right? It just this week, today maybe, I don't know. I don't have it on the daily chart, but it just put in a lower low. So it's still lower lows and lower highs. Now what I want to see is, I think this is a decent support area, like 20% lower. Like if we get there, for example, do we hold that? Do we really hold that level no matter what Bitcoin does? If we do, then it's interesting. But if AVAX is also crashing against Bitcoin, why the fuck would you buy it in the first place? Forget about the dollar. Because Bitcoin is already doing something against the dollar, right? But if AVAX is doing bad against Bitcoin, yeah, then you might as well buy, or not might as well, then you better buy Bitcoin. That's how I look at it. And that's what really works. Dogecoin, same thing. I want to see it hold right there. Dogecoin, here big support, resistance, here big support, here big support. Really want to see it hold. Want to see how does Doge do? How does Doge do when Bitcoin is going to crash, right? And you can now already get some kind of a sneak peek, right? Bitcoin here went from 30.5 to where we are right now, 26 or so. In the meantime, Dogecoin went up from 220 Satoshis to 242, right? So it's kind of sideways, but it's not going down. So Dogecoin is at least showing, well, you want more data, so you want to let it play out instead of a couple of weeks. But for now, we can see like, okay, if Bitcoin goes down, at least Dogecoin is holding up against Bitcoin. Doesn't matter what it does against the dollar, but against Bitcoin, it's holding up. That's interesting. Illuvium, right? Illuvium is only making low lows and low highs, right? Even this Illuvium pump right here and this pump right here, they did nothing else than made a lower high. Right? And the macro trend is still very much down. So doesn't matter how much I like Illuvium and how bad I want it in my portfolio, I'm not buying it right now. Because it is just, you could have better bought Bitcoin, right? Illuvium is already down 95% against Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is already 60% down against the dollar. So can you imagine how much Illuvium is down against the dollar? Well, you can see it on this chart. But therefore, I don't know. You really want to see it do well, right? And therefore you want to take more than a couple of weeks because here Bitcoin went down. Illuvium was sitting at the same level, basically here and here. But here, it went down from this point till this point, right? Not much, but still went down. So that's the thing. Chainlink, let's remove the noise. Chainlink on its Bitcoin pair, right? Might be interesting, but in a major downtrend still, right? So that's also where you want to take a look at. It's still in a downtrend. And then it's so easy to say, well, let's buy the dip. Yeah, I don't know how long, I don't have an unlimited cash flow. I cannot keep on buying the dips, right? I like to make some money with crypto as well. And if I'm buying the dipper, yeah, then which dips have I already bought? And how did that play it out for me so far? Well, not good, right? Because Link is like, if this, where we are right now, if you have bought the dip, then your average is way higher than this. So you would have lost money. Very simple. Buy the dip in a in a accumulation phase. That's why you accumulate. That's why it's called accumulation phase, right? Not in a downtrend. It's not a downelation phase. I don't know. So Chainlink, I want to see it hold right there. I want to see how it does, how it now plays out against Bitcoin. But still, I don't know. Chainlink still, in the last couple of days, it's losing again. It's slowly losing steam, right? We were going down and small relief, and now it looks like it's following that way. So Chainlink, good project, love it, but not going to buy it right now. Matic, Matic is together with Doge and BNB, one of those things that I feel like, okay, this is the high risk shit, right? Because if you look at this trend, yeah, Matic on its Bitcoin pair, we had support here in October 2021, here in June 2022, we had it in May, in everywhere, right? And every time it was a great buying opportunity. But what if it breaks? Then you're fucked, right? Because there's no support there. No support at all, right? So if you go up, congratulations, you make it 3x, okay? But if it falls, then your first support is 70% down. So you can say whatever you want about Matic, yeah, it's high cap and it's high risk as well, right? Chart-wise, it's super high risk. You can trade this. Set your stop loss. Don't forget to set it. You can make a nice trade out of it, a long-term trade, right? But that's how I look at it. Foco Forge, for example, yeah, great project, love it, but it's still losing against Bitcoin. So no matter how much I love the project, Bitcoin is more rewarding, right? And less risk. So why would you buy this? There's no good reason to buy Foco Forge, right? And you want to see it hold this, right? It's now... Yeah, it went there in May 2022. It got up. It now bounces here in this area. And you don't have to pick like, oh, here's the line and here's this line. We're now below it, or that range, right? Around that range. If it holds that range, then it's interesting. So you can also draw it like this or something like that, right? If Foco Forge manages to hold this area, give or take, then it's an interesting play. But so far, making lower lows and lower highs. So if we have to continue how the trend is doing till the day of today, then it goes down. And that's hard because that's where the patience comes in. You cannot look at this chart and say, hey, this is now a good buy or this is not a good buy. This is a chart that you have to look at and be like, okay, let's see in a couple of weeks or months how this plays out, and then decide what you are not going to do with this. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, people think that crypto is a casino and that it's easy money, and stocks are boring and crypto all goes fast. Yeah, then I have bad news for you. Crypto is, if you look at the 4-year cycle, it's mostly 2 years of nothing. It's 1 year of losing money and it's 1 year of making money. That's kind of what crypto is. Crypto sucks. Like, you first lose money, then you have to wait for 2 years, and then you can maybe make some money if you played those 2 years right. And otherwise, like, yeah, you're gambling, you could be lucky, but yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, Superverse, again, also a project that I feel like, yeah, I love it. Love the project. Elio building some good shit. But price-wise, I would be an idiot if I buy this, right? It made a low last week as well. And it's going down pretty hard, right? Like, not a little bit, really hard. 96% against an asset that's also down 60%. Yeah, how much money can you lose? Come on. So, and you could be like, well, something... That's also an argument that I got sometimes. Like, well, yeah, but it's down 90%, so it's a good buy right now. You should DCA. If you bought this when this was down 90%, you would have bought it here, right? But from that point, it's now already down 62 extra percent. So yeah, who says it can't go down another 60, 70, 80, 90% from here? The downtrend isn't over yet, so we don't know. And we don't even know if this is going to survive in the first place. So it's super risky to buy this. VRA looks good. Looks, well, better, right? Major, like, and this has some history, so that's also nice about the older coins. Like, you do have some history to go off. There's a lot of resistance at this level, but we broke it and we now have it as support. We tested it once in December, January. We now test it again. I would say this is a good one, but I want to see it play out a little longer, right? And if it does go here, I can always decide still to buy. I don't have to buy this exact point. I don't try to time the bottom, right? But if it doesn't hold, yeah, then there is a good downside on this one, like a lot. And so that's kind of how I look for the bottom on altcoins. Apart from the fact, like, are they still active on social media and that kind of stuff, of course, right? Like, are they still going strong? Is it likely to survive? But purely TA-wise, look at their Bitcoin pairs. Even if you don't have Bitcoin, even if you don't give a shit about Bitcoin, but if it's underperforming to Bitcoin, then there is no reason to buy this. And again, yeah, this could go up way more than Bitcoin. Yeah, but like, yes. And it could go way down way more as well. And that's what's currently happening. So why do you step into that, right? So yeah, no, I don't know. That's it, guys. I don't want to make it any longer than this. If you already knew about this, then you are one of these legends. If you don't know about the Patreon, definitely check it out in the link down below or in the comments. We do exclusive videos, early accesses, NFT calls, moonshot calls, trading courses, personal consulting, so much to make the best out of your portfolio for the next bull run. So like the video, liking it, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and I'll see you soon.